This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, what a game. What a game. Playoff baseball. Is there anything like it? Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast, your post-game show. I am your host, Jake Reitman. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Reitman. Tigers take game one in Cleveland. One more to get. And oh, yes, the tone of this post-game show is a little bit different than that of Sundays. What a difference an off day makes and playoff baseball. Never a doubt, right? How hairy did it get in that ninth inning? Oh my goodness, we'll talk about that. The Tigers playing a little bit of small ball, and oh yes, Tarik Skubal. He is a bad man, and the Guardians felt it today. So buckle up, dial it in. It's a post-game edition of a live Locked On Tigers postcast, and of course, this is your reminder. If you haven't yet subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Make sure you like today's video and get your comments in, because I want your voice to be heard on this post-game show as well. One of the many beauties of doing this baby live. But the Tigers are up 1-0 in the series. They win this one 2-1. And after a deep breath, after collecting myself, and after hopping on the live Locked On Tigers post-game show, we'll try to make sense of it all. But we begin where we always do, our biggest talking point. What stood out to you in this one? I got one clue. It starts with the Tarik and ends with the Skubal.
This is what you'll be talking about.
What an incredible effort from Tarik Skubal. And let me tell you, Tarik Skubal, pay the man, write him a blank check, give him the keys to the city. All of that we talk about all the time. But when it gets down to it, his competitive nature as just the ultimate competitor, doing whatever it takes to will his team to victory. And the Guardians, golly, there needs to be a word invented for the type of baseball that the Guardians play. Just consistently able to produce runs in the most maddening way you could ever imagine. But this afternoon, Tarik Skubal did not let the Baltimore chop and the ball not out of the infield, where the Guardians finally scored a run in the home half of the fourth. He didn't let that deter him or rattle him. And it wasn't long ago. We can go right back to the second to last series of the season, the penultimate series, if you will, where Skubal did let a couple of fluke hits kind of unravel him, where he had the balk and he had the air and the wild pitch all in one inning. But it was all business this afternoon at Progressive Field, and everything you would expect from the reigning Cy Young winner. He delivered that and then some. Just an incredible effort from Tarik Skubal. Now, the pitching all around, that's also part of the biggest talking point, because listen, hand up, I live tweeting the game. That's why I say you can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Reitman. I had some bad takes today. Hand up. And I'm big on holding people accountable. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm big on extreme ownership. I own my bad tweets today. I had one thing, I was confused between Glaber and Javi. It happens. That's going to happen. And I said, leave Tarik Skubal in to finish the eighth inning. Now, I wasn't alone in that. I think a lot of people felt that way. I just felt like this was his game to finish. But the 4-out save, it's a thing. And Will Vest comes in and takes care of business for the final out of that eighth inning. And then, oh my gosh, I mean, hand up, who's with me? Who had a heart attack in that ninth inning? Like, I am texting my buddies. I'm pacing around my apartment. I'm screaming. It's the middle of the day. People probably think somebody's going crazy in my apartment. And I was, obviously. But when Jose Ramirez leads off with that play, which all is well that ends well. And again, I'm getting fired up just thinking about it. The Tigers got the dub. Doesn't have to be pretty. But fundamentally, from a baseball standpoint, Spencer Torkelson, you got to scoop that ball, number one. It's out, number one. But number two, you can't misplay that short hop so bad that it's a two-base mistake. And now, again, we're going to dissect this play. And I'm sorry, I haven't got to the comments yet. Just got a lot to get out there, obviously. But could Javi have stood up and thrown that from his knees, or stood up and made a better throw? Probably so. And he gets credited, or he gets hit with the air on that. But the way that inning began, it felt like the nightmare we've all seen, right? It felt like, oh my gosh. And why wouldn't it? Runner on third with nobody out, and you're just holding your breath at that point. Listen, we're big on honesty in this program as well. It takes a little bit of luck. And Will Vest, he got the post-game interview on ESPN there, and I loved what he had to say. It was about making pitches, and he did exactly that. Making pitches, gets the strikeout, and on top of the strikeout, then gets the ground ball. I mean, are you kidding me? The ground ball back to the pitcher, and a critical error from Ramirez. Obviously, you can't get picked off like that on a tapper back to the pitcher. I understand it's a contact play, and with the tying run 90 feet away and nobody out after the strikeout, okay, gets a little bit more pressing because you don't have any outs to waste. I understand that. But again, if this was Locked On Guardians, I'm probably, what I do when Tiger players make mistakes, screaming and yelling and everything else. But obviously, Jose Ramirez, a future Hall of Famer and an incredible talent, and has been a Tiger killer for so long. But that was a critical error. Now, again, offensively, you got to hold the Guardians accountable. Again, from their perspective, hit the ball out of the infield, and we're in extra innings. But man, the ninth inning, the twists and turns of playoff baseball is just insane. Absolutely insane and incredible stuff here in game number 1 of the wild card series. And it feels like the adrenaline, the excitement, everything around it is so different than where this Tigers team was limping into the postseason with the all-time worst record at 7-17. I mean, think about that. 10 games under 500 entering this series, and now all of a sudden you've got a 1-game lead in a best-of-3 series situation. So go out and win tomorrow. We'll talk more about that, but right now I want to get to the comments. There's 47 of them, and that's a lot, so I apologize, but want to mix in some of our everydayers here. Demetrius McNeil, Jake, if you're the Tigers, I would make sure there will be no game 3 tomorrow afternoon. One more, and you're headed to Seattle. Let's get it on to the next game. Very well said, Marty 388. I agree with you. That wasn't pretty, but we'll take the win. Let's go get it. Tigers in 2. I like it. Tyler Carmichael says, let's go. What a game. Heart was in my throat till after that J-Ram hit, but never doubted our boys. Yeah, I think the never doubting, I put that on the thumbnail as a little bit of a joke, but at the same time, you never doubted this team for a minute. I'll also add the small ball element. And again, I apologize. My mind's going a million miles a minute at this particular moment if we even talked about the small ball. But the Tigers had, entering the postseason, 5 sacrifices for the entire 162 game season. 5 sacrifices. They had 2 today. If that doesn't scream playoff baseball, I don't know what does. But in all seriousness, the Tigers are going to have to be better. 3 different times you have the first 2 men on, have to be better offensively. 3 different times the first 2 men are on, and you score 1 run in total from that. Can't happen. Can't have it. Torres grounds into the double play. Fortunately, Z-Mac's able to lay down a bunt. And Dylan Dingler, again, all is well that ends well, but he's got to be better offensively. It's a tough game for him because he found himself in a couple of big spots and just could not come through. And by big spots, runners at third with less than 2 outs. Hit the ball in the outfield. Figure it out. All right, a lot more comments to get to. People excited. Brock saying that was wild indeed. We got people doubting, which is understandable. Oh my goodness. And listen, Mark, I agree with you. This is a great win. I've had enough of Dingler. I can't remember a sac fly from him this year. Dingler is your best option at catcher. I'll just put that to bed right now. What, you want to put Jake Rogers up there, Mr. Ground into the double play with two men on like you did in Boston? Jake Rogers is certainly the backup catcher. Dingler is the starting catcher. There's no other way around it. R1 VJ4, he's an everydayer. Got to give it to Vess. Getting Ramirez out was huge. Tigers into, cannot forget how Scoob nearly complete gamed them. Yeah, listen, I said I wanted Skubal in there still, but man, what a game and what a way to start the postseason. Don't go anywhere. We're going to keep breaking it down. And of course, I'll have my biggest turning point, maybe a couple of turning points because there were a few of them, and our player of the game. That's all next. Don't go anywhere. It's alive. Locked On Tigers postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Back in just a second. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by our good friends at Nutrafol. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually work. There's so many products out there, and it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. And that's why you should get Nutrafol and give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And right now, Nutrafol is the official hair growth partner of Major League Baseball. How about that? Nutrafol, the official hair growth partner of Major League Baseball. You can feel great about what you're putting into your body since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. And you can feel good about knowing Nutrafol, of course, is the best way to simply add a little bit to your day. 4 pills with a meal, no prescription needed. It's easy. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. It's spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by our good friends at FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet 300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, you put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. And you know I love FanDuel for all the variety. We're talking built-in parlays, same game parlays, player props, and oh yeah, if you've got a hunch, you can jump in live as well. I love looking at the live lines during games, and it all happens at FanDuel.com. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Oh my goodness. Still on cloud 9 from the Tigers winning 2-1, but one more game to get. That's the biggest thing. We saw a little bit of small ball with the sacrifice bunt and the safety squeeze for Zach McKinstry. Credit to him for the execution. It's not easy to do, and he executed extremely well. We saw Tarik Skubal put forth a Herculean effort. I'm talking 7 2/3, 14 strikeouts, just incredible. The way he was mixing it up with the fastball and the changeup. And pregame on ESPN, it's kind of funny to watch the ESPN national coverage because we're privy to Skubal every single start. But talking about his changeup being the best pitch in baseball, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, yeah, duh. I mean, we've been watching it. But Skubal gets the win, 7 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 14 strikeouts. He walked 3. The 3 walks were kind of peculiar, if you will, because I mean, we're talking about walks to the number 9 hitter, which is just kind of wild. Hedges walked twice, and then Ramirez drew a walk as well. But point being, hey, You called on your Cy Young man, and he delivered. Let's get into our biggest turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Got a couple here for you. Some that I wrote down. The obvious ones are Skubal. And even the one run he gave up, I tweeted this out, which is not an anti-Skubal take by any means, but that type of Baltimore chop, the high chopper in no man's land, behind the mound, in front of the middle infielders. And I know it's instinctual to go after it, but it's just kind of like an outfielder too, with the momentum going forward. If one of the middle infielders grabs that ball, the throw home is significantly more forceful and probably more accurate than the high throw, causing Dingler to go down on the tag. But other than that, my goodness, Tarik Skubal, just an incredible display of pitching and competitive fight that really should galvanize this team for the rest of the series. Now, as far as turning points offensively, obviously Zach McKinstry getting that bunt down. And again, it's the same conversation. I hate to be repetitive, but in the seventh inning, you need a crooked number there. You really do. And the same with the ninth inning. And that's where the Tigers have to be better. It's not sustainable to continue to win games. And I say continue like the Tigers have done some winning as of late. They haven't. We know that. I know that. You know that. If they want to win games in the postseason, got to be better in clutch situations offensively. So you're not getting that type of effort from Casey Mize tomorrow. And I love Casey Mize. I am praying for the absolute best and hoping that he gives this Tigers team a chance to win, but you're not getting 7 2/3 with 14 strikeouts in one earned run. You're just not. So the Tigers are going to have to be better with runners in scoring position. They left 6 men on base today and were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. But even if it's not the big clutch hit that we've been begging and pleading for, it's got to be productive outs. It's got to be the right way to manufacture runs and take advantage of the opportunities when they're there and in place. Let's go with our player of the game. One guess for this one.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's Tarik Skubal. And I just laugh because, of course, I got to hit the sounder there. Player of the game. Who could it be? Who could it be? Of course, it's Tarik Skubal. Wow. Incredible. I won't repeat everything I've already said, but he's the focal point of this game, of this team. He's the heart and soul of this team. And for a pitcher that pitches, once every 4th or 5th day, that really says a lot. But, he galvanizes this team. He represents this city, and you can't root for a guy any harder than this team roots for Tarik Skubal, and he has earned every bit of that. Also want to give a shout out to Will Vest, the 4-out save, clutch to get that final out in the 8th inning with the runner in scoring position, and then in the 9th inning with the leadoff error and putting a runner at 3rd with nobody out. To get out of that is just absolutely insane. That's the type of story you'll tell your grandkids about. Speaking of grandparents, my grandparents were at that game in Cleveland. They're crazy. They made the trip. I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to talk with them about it as well. All right. I think I got everything in, and I apologize. I didn't take a ton of comments this time around. Let's get a few more in here. Mark, he's an everydayer. The ending killed my heart. The air late almost took my soul. Great job by Skubal and Vest. Hey, we're all feeling it. That's for sure. I mean, that happened. I can't say what I was thinking because, like I said, my grandmother watches this show, and I don't want her to know what was going through my head. But oh my. I could not even believe it, but at the same time I could. It was just so telling. But hey, they got out of it, and the Tigers move on. Another early start tomorrow. I mentioned Casey Mize on the bump for the and will hopefully give this team a chance to win because, and it's not taking anything away from Casey Mize, but he's not Tarik Skubal. Bybee will go for the guards, Tanner Bybee. So great pitching matchup. Let's do this again tomorrow. How does that sound? Love you guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And for all the Guards fans that were in our comments and mentions, I hope they bring that same energy. And if you can't tell from me, I bring the same energy every time. Like I said, I believe in the Pedro Martinez where, hey, if they've got the best of you, you just tip your cap and tell them you're my daddy. Isn't that what Pedro said? But today, Tarik Skubal was your daddy. So all the Guards fans, I know they're still not watching to the end of this, but they love to infiltrate our stream. And I was way too caught up in the moment to remember to use that side of my brain. And it's a long series. I understand. But the Tigers are in the driver's seat because Tarik Skubal owns the Cleveland Guardians. 7 2/3, 14 strikeouts. You got to love it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Do me a favor, like today's video, tell a friend about it. The good news is if you missed it live, you can catch the audio version wherever you get your podcast. Can't wait to hear what Scott Bentley has to say on the daily show on Locked On Tigers. So make sure you check that out as well. And let's keep it riding, baby. Let's keep it riding. Same time tomorrow. Tigers looking to end the Guardians season. Casey Mize, Tanner Bybee. It's going to be a good one. Appreciate you guys. See you next time, and go Tigers. Eat them up.